You arrive at bridal prep and the room is tiny, like genuinely tiny. There are bags everywhere, dresses hanging off doors, makeup artists doing their thing, and hairspray floating through the air like it's a weather system. And you just stand there thinking, how am I supposed to make this look good? Well, welcome to tiny bridal prep rooms, where beginners lose confidence and wide lenses get the blame for everything. But today, I'm going to show you how pros still get clean, beautiful bridal prep photos, even in absolute chaos. So if you've ever walked into bridal prep and thought, this room is a nightmare, you're not alone. Tiny bridal prep rooms are honestly one of the most stressful parts of wedding photography, especially when you're new, because it feels like there's no space, no clean background, and no time to figure it out. So welcome to episode 3 of my 10-part series, Wedding Photography Problems and How the Pros Fix Them. Every episode is a real problem that you'll actually face on a wedding day, and of course how pros deal with it without perfect studio conditions. And yes, I've made you a PDF cheat sheet for this episode too. It's basically the save me in the moment version of this video. What to shoot, what to ignore, how to clean up a frame without moving anything, lens choices, and the biggest prep mistakes. The link for it's in the description, so save it to your phone. Right, let's fix tiny bridal prep rooms once and for all. So here's why these rooms mess with your head. They combine basically everything that photographers struggle with. Small spaces, mixed lighting, messy backgrounds, and people constantly moving. And it's not just hard, it's hard in a specific way. Because bridal prep is usually the first part of the day where you're expected to create beautiful, magazine-y type photos, but the environment feels like a storage cupboard. And the most common thought is, well, what if I just had a bigger room? My photos would be so much better. But pros don't rely on the room being perfect. They rely on choices. Because good bridal prep photos don't come from space. They come from selection. In tiny rooms, you don't win by trying to make the room look big. You win by making the photos feel intentional. So instead of thinking, how do I shoot this room? The pros will think, where's the best light and what's the cleanest direction to point my camera? So here's a real world tip that you can use immediately. When you walk into a bridal prep room, don't take your camera out straight away. Take 10 seconds and do a prep scan. Where's the window? Where's the cleanest wall? Where's the ugliest clutter so that you can avoid shooting towards it? And where are the key people? We're talking mum, bridesmaids, makeup artists, and of course the bride. Because once you know these 4 things, you're no longer panicking. You've got a plan. And if you're only going to remember one line from this section, it's this: tiny rooms don't ruin photos. Indecision does. So this, I think, is the biggest pro skill at bridal prep. And that is knowing what not to photograph. Because you don't need every corner of the room. You don't need every bag. You don't need the half-finished makeup brushes and 3 empty cups of coffee. What you do need is story. So think faces, hands, emotion, and interactions. The little moments, the nerves, the laughs, and the mum doing up the dress moment. Now here's how pros simplify this fast. They shoot bridal prep in 4 mini categories. The first one's people and emotion. The bride reacting to something, the bridesmaids hype, mum and dad seeing the bride for the first time, and that quiet moment where she's just sat there thinking. And here's a prompt that you can actually say. Just take a second and look out the window for me. Or maybe turn to your bridesmaid and tell her what you're most nervous about today. The second one is hands and details, but with meaning. Not random flat lays just for the sake of it, but the details while something is happening. We're talking earrings going in, the dress being done up, perfumes being sprayed, or buttonholes being pinned. So here's a little tiny room hack for you. The details let you avoid clutter without even trying, because they naturally crop tight. Number 3 is the anchor shots. These are the shots that establish where we are, without showing the mess. We're thinking bride by a window, mid-makeup, or a reflection shot in a mirror, or an over-the-shoulder shot of the makeup artist working. Number 4 is the transitions. Believe me when I say the in-between moments are gold. Simple things like the robe being tied, someone walking through the frame, or the bride laughing because somebody said something stupid. And here's the main rule. If it doesn't add something to the story, it doesn't make the frame. Because when you start shooting like that, the room instantly feels less chaotic. Because you're not shooting chaos anymore. Here's your real world tip. If the room's brutal, just stop thinking wide establishing shots. Instead, get 3 story shots that feel like a sequence. A makeup close-up, a bride's reaction, and some hands making the finishing touches. That sequence right there tells the story better than any wide, messy room ever will. Now let's kill a myth quickly. People think that pros walk into bridal prep and start tidying the room like a hotel cleaner. Okay, sometimes they might move 1 or 2 things, but honestly most of the time they don't. They do something that is a lot easier. They move themselves. Because you can remove about 90% of clutter just by doing the simple things like taking 1 step to the left or the right, going lower, or shooting tighter. Or my favourite, use foreground objects to block a mess. Bridal bouquets work perfectly for this. This is the 3-step clean frame method that I actually use. Step 1 is find your cleanest direction. Stand near to the bride and do a slow turn. What you're on the lookout for are plain walls, curtains, a clean corner, or even a doorway. Step 2 is to use natural frame blockers. Door frames work well, curtains, hanging dresses, even a bridesmaid's shoulder in the foreground. Believe me, foreground blur is a pro trick and not just an accident. Step 3 is to change height, because most beginners tend to shoot everything from eye level, whereas pros tend to go low for a cleaner background and high for flat layish angles without needing a flat lay. Here's a couple of real world tips that you'll thank yourself for. First up, shoot through the door. Even if you can only crack it open a little bit, it's going to create instant framing and hide a lot of clutter. Next up, we've got mirror shots. Move yourself until the reflection shows the bride and some window light and hides any clutter that you've got behind you. Use the dress as a background. Hang it near a window and shoot through it to create texture and block the chaos. And yes, if something's truly horrendous in the background, move 1 item. Just 1 though, like a bin bag or a bright supermarket carrier bag. That's not rearranging the room, that is just survival. Okay, let's talk about lenses, because I think wide lenses get a lot of unfair criticism during bridal prep. Wide lenses aren't bad, using them badly is. In tiny rooms, wide shots can actually make clutter feel 10 times worse. Not only that, they distort faces if you're too close to the subject, especially at the edge of the frame. So a lot of pros actually tend to go in the other direction. They'll shoot tighter with standard lenses and let the moments fill the frame. So a few lenses that I'd recommend are a 35mm, which is great if you're disciplined and not shoving it in someone's face. A 50mm, which is brilliant for clean prep storytelling and naturally crops out the clutter. And even an 85mm if you've got even a tiny bit of distance. Think doorway shots and reactions. So if you are going to use a 24mm, a 28mm or a 16-35, keep faces in the centre of the frame to avoid that edge distortion, and don't just shoot wide to fit everything in. Use wide shots for context, then go close for emotion. Try and limit yourself to 2 wide shots during prep. One establishing this is the scene shot, obviously making sure you shoot in a clean direction only, and one creative wide using a mirror, a doorway or an overhead angle. Everything else, think tight story. Because when you shoot tighter, you naturally just stop fighting the room. Window light is your best friend in bridal prep, if you use it right. The pros would do a few simple things. First off, they'll get the bride closer to the window and ask them to turn their face slightly towards the light. They'll also kill any overhead lights if possible, because mixed lighting is just a vibe killer. But honestly, light direction matters so much more than room size. So here's my quick window light setup. I like to put the bride about 45 degrees to the window. Don't have her facing straight towards it. Just ask her to turn her chin slightly to face towards the light. Place yourself so the background is cleanest direction. Then shoot a mix of close-ups, mid-range shots, and reflection or over the shoulder shots. Here's a couple of real-world fixes for common bridal prep lighting problems. The first problem is when the window light is harsh, usually caused by bright sun. The solution here is to move the bride back a step. Use a curtain as diffusion or shoot with the light slightly behind her for a nice soft rim light. The next problem you'll probably come across is mixed lighting. Orange ceiling lights and cool light coming through the window. The solution here is to just ask if we can quickly turn the big light off. If you let them know it's going to make their skin tones look much nicer in the photo, then usually, if you explain it like that, people are going to say yes. The next problem you might face is the window is behind the clutter. Well, the solution here is just don't fight it. Use the window as a backlight and expose for the face. Then use a doorway or a mirror angle to clean up the frame. And remember, if the light's good, then the photo will feel calm, even if the room is in absolute chaos. Okay, quick reality check. Small bridal prep rooms expose mistakes fast. Here's just a few of them. Mistake number 1 is trying to photograph everything, just because you feel like you're missing something. Remember, you're not paid to document the clutter. You're paid to tell the story. The fix for this is to think in sequences. The getting ready part, finishing touches, bride getting the dress on, and some reactions. Mistake number 2 is standing in one spot and thinking, well, there's just nowhere else to go. There's always somewhere else to go. You just have to move like a chess piece, constantly changing angle. The fix for this is to rotate through 4 standard positions. That's by the window, in a doorway, near a mirror, and a low angle near the bed corner. This one's brilliant for clean backgrounds. The third is going wide angle with a wide open aperture and hoping the background magically disappears. It won't, it'll just be blurry clutter. Blur can help, but I promise you that composition is going to help so much more. A clean frame at f4 is going to beat a messy frame at 1.4 any day of the week. Mistake number 4 is not taking control of the situation when it matters. Listen, you don't need to direct the whole morning, but you do need to direct the odd 2 minutes here and there. The fix for this is to mini direct and then disappear. A simple, let's pop you by the window for 20 seconds, then you can step back and let the moments happen again. Now, mistake number 5 is a big one, and that is forgetting the bridal prep hero shots. Prep isn't just chaos coverage. You still need the go-to shots. That is one clean bride portrait using the window light, one meaningful detail shot, at least one emotional interaction, and one dress moment. Clutter doesn't mean failure. Clutter just means that you need to make stronger decisions. So here's the mindset shift that changes everything at bridal prep. You don't control the room. You control the story. And if you treat bridal prep like it's just getting ready photos, you will always feel stressed. But if you can treat it like the opening chapter of the wedding day, it changes how you shoot. Because this is where the nerves show, relationships show, and little family moments happen. The bride is surrounded by her people, and that is why bridal prep can be one of the most rewarding parts of the day. Tiny rooms don't limit creativity, they focus it. So next time you walk into a tiny bridal prep room, don't think, how do I fix this room? You need to think, where's my light, where's my clean direction, and what is the moment? So that is episode 3 of Wedding Photography Problems and how the pros fix them. Remember, if you want the quick, stress-free reminder of everything that we've just spoke about, grab the PDF cheat sheet which is linked below. It's been designed to live on your phone, be checked quickly during bridal prep, and help you make fast, confident decisions. This is a 10-part series, with new episodes dropping every Thursday at 3 PM UK time. Next episode, we're tackling no flash wedding ceremonies and how the pros shoot dark churches without breaking the rules. If this video's helped you, then do me a favour and hit the like button. And if you like, comment prep, and I'll drop a pinned comment with my exact prep shot list. Of course, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next Thursday.